So I'm out here in my car today so that I can show you how to put Bluetooth in your car if your car only has an auxiliary jack. This is great if you have one of the new iPhones that doesn't have a headphone jack anymore. But even if you have an Android phone like I do, I prefer it, so you might like it too. And I'll tell you why it's preferable later. Essentially, you need a Bluetooth auxiliary adapter. Now, there are many different kinds. So I'll show you what I bought, and then I'll talk about the different options of what's available and why you might want to buy something different, not what I bought. But the setup is basically the same. This is the one that I bought. It is USB for power, and then the auxiliary port in the back there. So you just basically plug it all in. So it comes with a cable, plug it in. The other end, of course, goes into a USB adapter. This is one that I already had in my car. And then you just plug it in. Now, in my car, the auxiliary port is right next to the power port, so it makes it pretty convenient. So once all that's plugged in, you turn on the car. We'll turn on the radio on the auxiliary, and then we can connect our device. So on our device, this is an Android device, we'll swipe down from the top, find Bluetooth, hit more settings, and it should eventually find the device. There it is. So we tap on it, it'll pair, and there's a sound showing that it is connected. Now, one word of warning is you can go into the settings here. This is on a tablet, so it doesn't show it, but you have the option to turn on or off phone audio, which you may not want it to do. I turn that off on my phone. And you can rename it here. So if you want to name it whatever the name of your car, go ahead. Now, I already have a song queued up here, so I'm going to play it just to show you that it works. Now, you may have to turn up. I like to turn the volume all the way up on my device, and then I can control the volume on the radio itself, and I have the full range of volume on the radio. Now, like I said, it's great for iPhones if you don't have the option of using a headphone jack. But one thing I like about it, even using an Android device, is that if you turn off the car, the audio automatically stops. So you'll see if I shut off the car, it stops, but also my audio will eventually, there it is, it'll clue in that it disconnected, and it automatically stops. Now, if you're listening to music, that's perfect, and you start up your car, and it will start from where it left off. Now, if you're listening to a podcast, you might still want to pause it before you shut off the car, because there is a few seconds delay there, so you might miss a few seconds of the audio. Now, of course, the automatic connect and disconnect will only happen if the adapter that you buy draws its power directly from the car. There are some that you can buy that have a battery inside of it with a micro USB port to charge it. I specifically made sure that I did not buy one of those because I didn't like it, and I wanted that feature of automatically starting or automatically stopping the audio and it shutting off by itself. And you don't have to worry about, keeping track of when the battery gets low and charging it. But you may want to consider one of those if you have a car where the power jack and the auxiliary jack are not close to each other and you don't want to have a big long wire running between the two. Now, the main reason I chose this one is because it is tiny. Like, it is literally as small as it could possibly be. I mean, it's big enough just to fit the auxiliary jack in there and for the USB jack. So it's tiny, and it was cheap. It only cost me about $2 from China. Now, it does have a downside, and this is a problem with many of the cheapest ones that you're going to find on the internet. Almost all of these will tell you that it is stereo audio, but what they really mean is that it outputs some audio on both the left and right channels, but it outputs the exact same thing on the left and right channel. It's mono output, essentially. Now, this may or may not matter to you. If you only listen to podcasts in your car, then it's not going to matter, because just speech only is going to be mono anyway. But a lot of music does make use of both channels, maybe more than you think. Now, you may have heard of songs where it's really clear, like you can hear the sound shifting from the left to the right and then back. But even in other songs, what they'll often do is the singer will record the same song twice, or even just part of the song, like the chorus, and they will put one track or one recording on the left channel and another recording on the right channel. Even though it's singing the same thing, it makes the sound a little more full or rich. So you lose some of that. But honestly, I use this for music too, and it's not that bad. So you may not even care about that. It's totally a matter of preference. But if you do care, I'll show you how to check for this. So one easy way is look up a stereo test on YouTube. You play it and you hear the sound. You check which channels the sound is coming out of. It'll tell you, it should be a left channel, and you check if it's coming out of the left or if it's coming out of both. But another way is to use a multimeter. So you set the multimeter to test continuity, then you plug in the cable to the adapter and look for continuity between the tip, which is for the left channel, and the second ring, which is for the right channel. If there is continuity, like you see here, then that means that both channels are electrically connected and can't possibly play anything different. So if this is something that's important to you, then you'll have to spend a little more. Probably more in the $20 to $30 range. Now, I haven't tried any others that are actually true stereo, so I can't recommend any specific one. So I'd recommend that you buy it from somewhere that has a good return policy, so that you can test it out and return it if it isn't truly stereo. I'll include links to Amazon where there's a lot there, so you can check those out at least. I mean, the more expensive ones should give you good audio. You get what you pay for, right? Now, I did try this one. This one came from China as well, and I was hoping that it would be true stereo, but it's not. The same problem here. The only benefit to this one is that it can remember pairing between two phones at the same time. But I don't really care about that. Maybe you would. So head over to my blog to see the links there. I put the links for these two that I have tried out, as well as to Amazon and a video on YouTube for testing stereo output. So check those out. Now, if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. I'll try to help you out. And if you do find a device that you absolutely know does output true stereo audio, put that in the comments to help everybody else out. And I'd thank you for that. So thanks for watching.